Well, hello, everybody. John Hunt here from MarketingPlanGuide.com, welcoming you today for our next edition of Marketing Plan Q&A. We do this every Monday at 3 o'clock Central Time, and we go for a half an hour. I get as many questions as I can in that half an hour live here. Purpose of this session today and of every Monday we do this is to allow you to ask any question related to creating your marketing plan. And you don't have to be on the call live. We will take your questions in advance and pre-submitted, and we will do questions live, time permitting. And I've got a lot of questions, a lot of people lined up for today. Okay, our next question is the budget for marketing based on anticipated sales or reinvestment of earnings? And this was very similar to a question we had last week, which was how does a new business or a startup business budget? And we have that video up again at our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/marketingplanguide.com, which is how do you budget for a startup. But, let's review quickly what the different ways to budget are, because there's more than one way to budget. Okay, the first way is by a percent of projected sales, and that's, you asked about that. Is that, of course, a way to do it? Or, if you can also go based on, some larger companies use the previous year's sales as kind of the benchmark for how much to budget. But, typically in a marketing budget, you're introducing new marketing elements, and in your budget section of your marketing plan, you're going to kind of show that we want to spend this much more money because we're going to get this kind of return based on these kinds of projected sales. So I always like to model it with more of the projected sales piece. But again, that's a little harder to gauge, and you particularly have to do that with a new or a startup company. But with an established company, in fact, probably the bigger they get, the more stoic and benchmark they get to more of a, okay, here's what we did last year. Take what percentage of sales we did last year, use that as kind of the number that we use. So that's more on the projected sales or previous sales. You can also, though, prioritize by marketing tactic. And when we talk a little bit more about this in the Do-It-Yourself Marketing Handbook, where you take, and what you do with this approach is you, after you've picked your media tools that are appropriate to reach your target audience, then what you do is you look at which media tools really match your target audience. And then you go out and cost those things out and find out, okay, well, what would it cost to use, radio? What would it cost to use direct mail? And then you kind of prioritize using the media rationale, which is part of the marketing plan process, to say, okay, really, direct mail is the best task. We're going to prioritize that first. And using the combination approach, which is taking a combination of, okay, well, here's the percentage of sales. Let's say it's $200,000 is how much we have to spend. Let's take now those marketing tactics and, okay, we prioritize direct mail first. That's going to be $50,000. Then we do a radio, and that's another 100. And you keep choosing the most prioritized tactic until you hit your percentage of sales budget, and then that's where you draw the line. So, but in a marketing plan, if you don't use the percentage of sales, really make sure you work out on the return on investment metric, where you say, okay, we are going to invest this amount in the tactic. We expect this much in sales and this much profit, therefore we'll have a return. It's all laid out in the budget piece of your plan, and using that approach, you can say, okay, going back and evaluating and saying, all right, well, we did this, that matched, that didn't. You can't always make great, perfect projections. Things change. But, if you have a little bit of experience in the business, even if you're starting up a new business, chances are you've done something similar in a past kind of job situation. Then, you can, you get a sense of, okay, if I do this, I think I can get this kind of return. Also, if you don't really know, take a look at some of the industry percentages. If there's public companies in your industry. You can look at their annual reports. You can talk to accountants who specialize in specific industries, and a lot of them can provide to you specific ways to take and come up with an industry percentage, so at least you're not way off the the charts. I mean, I've seen some industries where 0.5% of sales is the industry standard. I've also seen some industries, event marketing and entertainment kinds of industries, where 30 to 40% of their projected sales is going back into marketing, because that's what they need to do. And so knowing those specific metrics of your industry, but also knowing from an ROI basis how that particularly works, I think that's really the key to finding out which way budgeting will work. And again, if you're a startup, take a look at the other video that we have on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/marketing plan guide. And you can look at the one on how much should a new or a startup business spend on marketing. We go into this a little more in depth and on that particular one. Until next Monday, John Hunt here from marketingplanguide.com, saying so long and have a great day.